There are varying degrees of difficulty in building an electric guitar, and part of what I do is try and make it look as easy as I possibly can in order to tempt you into the fold of building guitars, because it's awesome and I want to share that. Designing a headstock. The limitations placed on a guitar builder by the geometry of your neck, where your tuners need to be, and how much material you've got limit you in incredibly frustrating ways. I have had an idea, and I think this is going to be the single coolest headstock I have ever made. Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to my home studio, and welcome to my entry into the Great Guitar Build-Off Invitational competition. This is heating up somewhat. Burn it. Haha, yay! There are a bunch of incredibly talented makers. Here's a few of them, all competing for your vote as, I don't know, Great Guitar Build-Off Invitational Champion 2021, something like that. There will be a prize, there will be a lot of money raised for good causes. One of them is the Great Guitar Build-Off itself, which promotes guitar building and helps people who cannot necessarily afford to get into this fantastic hobby stroke career with, you know, subsidized tools or free tools or courses, etc., in any way that we can help. Now, all of these guitars in the Invitational are going to be up for auction. You can, check out greatguitarbuildoff.com. I'm going to stop prattling on and get on with building this headstock. I have stepped away from the inlay for a minute. I do want to make some changes. I think I would like to add just a little bit more mother of pearl on the stalks of the vine, and it disappears in some lights, and it needs a little bit of help. That being said, pencil, paper, L design. What we are after is a very, very lightweight headstock, which obviously we all know, hollow or Parker Fly style, something like that. But I also want shape, I also want interest, I want something special. Now, bear in mind the body is not really going to be a body, it's going to be a top and a back. And that's pretty much it. This is an interesting build. A neck dive is something to be aware of. Obviously, I want to avoid that. I don't want to design an instrument that is not going to be playable. So, lightweight headstock. What is the solution? It also needs to fit the overall aesthetic of this guitar, which is binding and nice curves, or at least curves that I like. And the obvious thing is to remove as much wood as humanly possible. So, that's not particularly unique, is it? We've all seen that before. Actually, where does my tuner go? Goto hardware now available at crimsonguitars.com. Yeah. So that's the thing, you really do need to be absolutely sure that you leave enough room for your choice of hardware. Anything less would be silly. And I don't want pointy, I need curves. Now, my constraints are, this is a paddle headstock, and I have only got this amount of material to work in, don't I? Or do I? Not by a long shot. Okay. Make that just a little bit. So we've got a similar sort of shape on the end there as we do this horn. Now, to my idea, I want shape. I want interest. I have got a really cool binding design thing going on here. And of course, that's the whole point, that moves, and we've got structure, and thinking about that made me think about adding binding. And using that binding to create something that I didn't have before. I even want to add extra material here. So my binding is going to go all the way around and sit on the external section of the headstock, creating extra width or mass. And if it goes according to plan, maybe even stop there, I'm not entirely sure yet, and bring in, and we'll have something I think that has not been done before. You see where I'm going. I think you see where I'm going. Do you see where I'm going? I'm going to remove all of the excess wood, and I'm just going to have binding itself creating an incredibly lightweight, hollow design. It's going to be using negative space and positive space and space. Come on then. Now, these multipliers all stuck together with the support of the headstock itself are actually relatively strong enough for sure. It will be inlaid into the headstock here and then glued to the outside of the headstock all the way around. It doesn't even need to be stuck into a groove if I don't want to. And I'm not sure if I do. Why be traditional when you're being totally non-traditional? Now, the real question though is, do I need two bindings? And I think I kind of do. In other words, do I have another section of binding this area? And I think I do. Now, one of the problems that I have is that binding a Fender-style headstock, it's not impossible, but it's not ideal. It's not done. This is a paddle headstock. It does not have a break angle, and that means that you've got this curve, and that curve, it's not something that one can bind really, at least not with ease and not with an attractive outcome. You will always have some sort of an issue unless you're going to painstakingly carve the curves in to the binding itself, which, hey, that's occurred to me. I'm sure it's occurred to you. I don't want to do that. So we want to avoid that curve as much as possible. So we've got inlaid binding going around, and then more inlaid binding going that way, creating interesting shapes. May not jump over each other. These don't, so I'd like to keep that idea going. We'll have something like that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, yo. I think I'm sleep deprived. Forgive me. One of the rules with this sort of thing is that every single element of the headstock has to be attractive. Essentially, I've gone through various different iterations. That is not unattractive. It's not gorgeous. It's not gorgeous. But the earlier iterations were plain ugly. That line there just didn't work. So with this and a curve cutting through there and going around, we've got something that I love. And bear in mind that we'll have binding along the top here to thicken everything out and add steps and interest. Can I do this one-handed? Can I do this one-handed? Almost. Something like that. Yep, I'm happy. But I'm going to stop for lunch and a cup of coffee, or two, and see how I feel in an hour. Yes, it's a little bit penisy. Work with me. Come on. So, do I want to go? Ooh, ooh-hoo. Yeah. I'm just going to start cutting and see what happens. What could go wrong, huh? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Oh my God, what have I done? Sharp. Always needs to be sharp.
So because I've got white on the outside, I need it on the outside here, but also on the inside. So yeah, it's a slightly different with the thicker section in the middle, but that's going to be cool. Super cool.
One of the things I love about this body and the shape and all that is that I don't have any miter joints. I don't have any sections where the binding meets another section. That each individual piece is alone and on its own and strong as a result of that. Psychoanalyze me in the comments below. The problem with the headstock is that it's got these pointy bits and the binding doesn't really want to bend around them. We have but one solution. Burn it. Using actual fire is a little bit overkill. I should probably use just a hot air gun, but not gonna. And I need to leave enough that I cut away. Let's warm, burn, bend. Wow. I just lightly touched that. Fantastic. Lightly burnt, and that scrapes away. Lightest of touches, just almost nothing. There we go. That's more. Gotcha. Super glue and eye protection. Starbond. Get a coupon in the description if you're in America, and if not, buy it from us at Crimson Guitar. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, why not? Bum, 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 bum. Come on, Mr. Crowe. Nobody calls me Mr. Crowe, not even myself. I just call myself Mr. Crowe. Come on, I'm tired. Okay. That was not the correct way to do that then. Okay. Because I'm not in a channel right now, I am just freehand gluing it to the edge of this headstock. I'm having to be very careful about angles and that it lines up with the front and all that jazz. And it turns out that the masking tape is not my best friend, actually. I am my best friend. I need to just hold it in place while the accelerator does its job. This is so cool. Not enough glue. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean up the back significantly. You are not wrong in thinking that I'm somewhat foolish and what could have been just a straightforward headstock had to turn into this complicated mess. I like doing things that I don't think anybody else has ever done before, and yeah, the constraint of doing that gives me, I don't know, a creative challenge. Okay, so it is very much up to you guys. What do you think? Am I capable of cutting a piece of plastic like that or not? Yeah, let me know in the comments what you are thinking of this. Please. And subscribe if you haven't. It's only polite, you know? Okay, no, that doesn't go in the mouth. Let's not drop super glue on the phone. 3. I think there's two things here that are new, or at least so uncommon that I've never seen them before, and the one is the external binding, not running in a channel, and the other is obviously the external binding going around and creating that shape. It is possible that one or the other may have been the ideal number of new things to try in one headstock, but who knows. That's good. That's good. And wow. All right. It's not structural. Oh, it should be a laser. That should. Okay. I love it. I absolutely love it. I have. What reservations do I have? Let us be honest. Let us be honest. I honestly just pinched the shit out of my hand with those pliers, and it really hurt. That's going to be a blood blister right there in a bit. Okay. I want to have an angle like that here somewhere, so I'm going to have to chop some of that away and be there. I could have been a little bit cleaner up there. If I had single pieces of binding rather than a multitude of doubles already pre-glued, I would have a piece of black in the center of this. I think there's so much that can be done with this. There is so much, from having random sun rays going through to logo suspended in there. I need to do the logo. The thought was to have the Crimson logo there. That wasn't half bad for writing sideways. I'm going to leave this for 5 minutes. Come back, scrape, clean, shoot some B-roll, and we're done. Thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe. I've already said this before. A multitudinous multitude of times. If you are not yet subscribed, you really should be. But the most important thing is to let me know what you think of this headstock design in the comments. Should this headstock be something that we do more often? Should I have most of the binding in a traditional channel? Instead of that, I think probably, almost certainly, in fact, yes. If we do put it into production, that's what we'll do. Bloody hell. Check it out. That's really, really stupid, Ben. Pinch myself right there. I really appreciate your support. I need you to go and vote for me if you think that this is the best or at least most interesting guitar in the Great Guitar Build-Off Invitational. And if you think I'm a fool, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys soon. Cheerio. Scrapey, scrapey. Come on. Not sure what I owe my wife a cup of tea. She's due back with the kids in about 4 minutes. I also really want to see what this headstock's going to look like. Where the heck did he hit? Because that's scrapey. Yeah? Oh yeah.